Greetings everyone and welcome to Neon Dynasty Draft number 3. And this is again a traditional draft. I will do one of each. For starters, it's gonna be 2 drafts a day uploaded on the channel, one traditional draft and one premier draft. Alright, so I do like the red-white rare here. It's a pretty interesting one because a 3/3 haste for 3 is already a limited, a good quality creature, and this can, sometimes be indestructible, of course. But it is a 2-color card, so that is, of course, the reason I'm not immediately picking it. If it was mono red, I would just take it. Then there's a Circuit Mender, amazing card. Leech Gauntlet, very good quality 2-drop. 2 mana 2/2 lifelink, which has the ability to, reconfigure later. I definitely like it. I do like the Tales of the Master Seshiro, but it's a 5-drop right away. Maybe I'll take this, Samurai thing. Can I get a Mothrider Patrol or the Katana back? It's a bit risky to take a 2-color card, but then again, it's a new format. It's fun to also try the rares right away, so you have a good grasp of how good they are later in the format when you face the same rares. Face the option to pick the same rare. For example, I have it's not that easy to, estimate how often this is gonna have it indestructible. This format has a lot of evasive creatures because of the ninjas, so it's not necessarily that easy to keep this indestructible. But anyway, I took that one, and now there is an option between Ancestral Katana and the White Shrine. The White Shrine is, it is playable alone, but definitely not as good as the red and green ones, which will always be good as the only shrine in the deck. I could just take the Katana. It is really good in the Samurai deck, which I might be. If I'm red-white, of course, I will have a lot of Samurais and Warriors in that case. I think I'll take the Katana. I'm not sure if I should take it pick 2, but this is actually a fairly weak pack. There's the Okiba Reconner, right, which might be the second option that I could pick there. Alright, there's a Spirited Companion. It's good, but oh man, there's a Kami's Flare. So someone took a rare. These packs can have, by the way, 4 uncommons, because it is so that the packs are guaranteed to have a saga. Now this thing has a saga, so I think someone took a common. So this maybe shouldn't have 4 uncommons, because if there are 4 uncommons, the 4th one would be the saga. No, this could be the 4th uncommon, of course, I'm a fool. Someone could have taken the rare, and then someone might have taken one of the uncommons, or just the common. Anyway, that was a lot of talking. It doesn't matter if there are 4 or 3 uncommons, I read from somewhere that there is a guaranteed saga in each pack. Anyway, Kami's Flare, I'm already having a red card, so definitely the best card in this pack. So let's take it. The best card, and also works for my previous picks. But this is a troublesome pack because, well, someone took the rare, and then one uncommon at least has been taken here. But now I have to figure out if I should not be red-white here. This is a traditional draft, so I do like to Repel the Wild as a sideboard card. It's a bit too restricted in its targeting to include in the main deck. I don't like this in main deck. Power 4 or greater creatures are not that. You could be facing an opponent that doesn't have them, and the enchantment without being excelling an enchantment, but not having the option to excel an artifact. At least I'm not picking it this early. So I could take the uncolor, the disable, but I think I'll just take the mana thing here. This is pretty good, this green mana producer, so if I end up, green, white, green, red, that's of course easily possible here, still at this point in the draft. Alright, so here, I do like the befriending the moths quite a bit here. It also works nicely with the samurai stuff. You can have a nice 1-flyer for a couple of turns, and then you get this 2/4 flyer in the end. So this is definitely better in aggressive decks when the chapters 1 and 2 are really good. Well, the red-white archetype I would assume, is quite aggressive. This thing is good if you have a bunch of modified creatures, but I don't know about that yet. Yeah, I don't like the crackling emergence. I guess if you really want to have modified creatures, this works, but the fact it uses up the land. So if you want to attack with it, you don't have the mana available and so on. So I don't like it. I take the befriending the mods here. I can do exemplar. I think I'm not sure, but it feels like this is a key common in the samurai deck. And I'm gonna pick it here. Just thinking, what's this? Oh, this is the one that allows you to cast your tribal cards. All right, not really interesting. Thirst for knowledge is definitely good, but I'll take the and in this deck the Steelbreaker is still okay. It's actually a warrior, so it does benefit from these triggers. But I'm not sure how many artifacts I'm gonna have here, so I'll just take the samurai. I'm gonna put the green cards to the sideboard for now, and immediately I'm getting another one of those. Jeez. Okay then. That's actually interesting because I have only 2 red cards. I could be like green-white, maybe even green-red with the Kamigawa, or who knows. I could be green-black. Why is the Okiba Reconder right here? He's still here in this pack. It's rather good. I don't think I like the Ambitious Assault, especially because I'm not guaranteed to have a modified creature necessarily. This is just not good in this kind of deck. I'll take the green card. I could take the 1-drop black card too. I think it's quite good, but I'll take the green card because I have 2 of them now. I can easily move green here now. I maybe should put them to this, as an actual option to draft around. Okay. Wow, how many of these is this like, if I just started picking these, I would have like 3 of them already. Man. Okay then, there is another katana. I don't want to play too many of them, but I guess I could play 2 if I have a lot of warriors and samurais. That is 2 samurais out of 4 creatures. Well, that's not 2. It's too early to tell. Now I could take the black card, but I really kind of want to. But I'll take the katana, and now I hope to get a lot of warriors and samurais. Okay, this is actually the pack one where I was thinking maybe I can get the patrol, or was there a katana? I definitely would want to get the patrol in this case. It is a warrior, so it does benefit from all this stuff. So that's exactly what I wanted to come back to me. There's also the Jukai trainee, which I could have considered, maybe green-white samurai or something like that, but I'd rather be white-red because of the rare I picked here. But yeah, this is only 2 red cards, so I don't really know yet what will be the... Oh man, what is this here still? Papercraft decoy, when this leaves the battlefield, so it works with ninjutsu. If you have the extra mana, you can jump block and pay 2, but 2 mana is actually quite a lot for this ability. So I'm thinking between the Scrapyard Steelbreaker, which could be okay. You don't need that many artifacts to have that. The threat of activation is enough for this thing. Or I could just take the Reckoner Raid, because right, I don't know why I can't really pronounce this word raid. Is it even raid? But anyway, if I'm getting these very late, I'm gonna be like black-white easily here. Kami of Industry, not really interesting. What? I could take these if I find, shrines. I don't care about the Kami of Industry. I'll take the artifact here. It's definitely only playable if you have something good to fetch from it with it. Alright, so Scrounger. I take the green card because I have a couple of green cards here still. Okay, am I going to play the Unstoppable Ogre? I really don't like it. The 1 toughness is annoying, but I'm not sure if I care about the crafted growth either. I take the red card now, but yeah, this is not very good. Alright, so not ideal pack 1. So here we have whenever you cast an enchantment spell, this just gets a counter as a 2 mana 2/2. And then, okay, if it's in your graveyard, yeah, and you lose some other enchantments, you get to, return this. That's pretty nice. Okay, but how? Okay, I could take them now. I could actually move to black-white, but if I took more than one of these Reckoner Raids, I'd be quite happy to do that. Now I have the option to just take the Samurai here. This thing is cheaper for modified creatures. Don't know if I'm gonna get there. I kind of want to still be red-white here. Red might be a bit open here in this direction also, because I didn't really pass too many of that. I don't have a lot of enchantments. Well, there are 3. I could take the rare and move, green, white, but that might be the reasonable thing to do, but I'm going to now slightly force this red, white here. Hopefully I don't need to regret it too much. Okay, this is really good. Of course the chapter 1 doesn't do much, but the fact is it eventually is a 1 mana 2/2 with even haste. But yeah, the chapter 2 here is so for 1 mana you get a +1/+1 counter on something and then a 2/2 haste, even though it comes with a delay. Especially if you can curve out from turn 1, this is gonna be massive. I'm gonna take it now. And I should now cut the, non-green, non-white. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to deviate from the white-red here now. Alright, so this is quite good because I will have a bunch of cheap things, but also there's a mythic rare and I'm completing the set. I'm just thinking if by the way, I have one of each card because I got the Decathlon finals, the rewards. I got to the 7 wins with one of my finals entries, so I got all of these, one of each of these cards, but I guess I could even take the flyer here, but this thing is, can it get you cards? But I think I'll take the mythic rare. I'm completing the set, and I'm not sure the vehicles are that great in this deck. I don't think they are that amazing. If there was something actually like another Kami's flare there, I think I would have picked that instead. Okay. Another one of these skyscrapers, but I'm not even looking to play 6 mana cards like the Imperial Oath in here. This is a human samurai. I don't think this is very good, but I need to try it before I can really say so. Because there's a threaten effect which is situationally good, but then again, if it's not a good effect, now this costs 2 more than they usually do, but then you at least do get the creature in the end, so maybe I'll try it. I could take the land too, which fixes my mana. Actually, I think I'm gonna get some of these cards later in the draft, and even if I don't, I'm not gonna miss it. I'll take the land here now. Yep, it's fine. It's like an Evolving Wilds, very similar effect there. Alright, so I think in this kind of deck it is more important to have the Eigenjo exemplars than the Sunblade Samurai. 2 mana get the planes is okay, and 5 mana 4/4 vigilance can be okay, but if I want to play this deck with double ancestral katana, I need to have creatures early on the battlefield, and this is the kind of one of the, as far as common creatures go, I think the Eigenjo exemplar is one of the key cards in this archetype. At least it feels like that. Of course I can't know it for sure, because this is my 3rd draft of the format. Now I could take the Winch card, Crag. I don't think I need a 3rd katana, but there's also an Aki Ronin, which is interesting, especially with the katanas. I have 1 mana fixing land, and I don't want to have too many of my Alliance enter tapped, so I think I take the Ronin here. I think it's because I do have 2 of these katanas, and I quite like it's gonna be 3/4. A bit harder to block in that case. And yeah, this is I could have a 3rd one of these things. Okay. Well, I'm not playing green, so I'm not taking it. I'm just figuring out if I'm gonna. This is a best of 3 draft. I could take either of these for my sideboard. Neither of them will be main deck cards. I think I like the Colossus in the sideboard more in some specific matchup. It might be useful. Alright, Colossal Sky Chattel quite late here. Well, someone. Maybe no one is blue-green. I don't know, it's a really strong card, but I'll take the Steelbreaker now. I don't have a lot of artifacts, actually only 3, but I can still find more of them. And it's still a warrior that triggers the abilities from those. When I have some katana, a couple of katanas, couple of these, and I have actually a lot of these triggers already. I'll take another one now. That is actually enough for mana cards. Now I just want to have some maybe removal and cheaper cards, who knows. Alright, Lucky Offering. That's a really decent one in a best of 3 which this is as a sideboard option. Very efficient removal when you know that the opponent will have good targets for it. There's nothing for me in here. Okay, I got the Shattered Stage Era. Yeah, I guess I can play one of these in main deck. I can also cut it very easily. But it's interesting to try these kind of cards. Because normally threaten effects, which is the first chapter, they are not good. Unless you have, some sacrifice effects to combine with them. But they are situationally very good. You can just win games with them. And this has the, failsafe of being a creature in the end. And the chapter 2, who knows? I don't think that is very good, but who knows? Sometimes it might matter, allowing you to attack because of the one power pump effect. Okay. By the way, these lands are all very high picks because you don't really that doesn't cost you anything, and by that I mean it doesn't even cost a deck slot. Being able to turn one of your basic lands into a thing that basically does the same thing mana production wise, and then has the alternative option to do something useful is really strong. Okay, run away trash, but don't think I have a lot of them. 5 enchantments, 5 artifacts. Well, I guess that's a fairly decent amount, but it's still probably not the kind of card I care about. I actually do care about having another era of enlightenment here. It somehow feels like it could be very good in a aggressive deck, so let's take it. And sorry, it's not. I mean, it's fine still, but I actually thought it was a befriending the moths. For some reason, I thought it was the same. Is the art somehow very similar? Well, they're both white cards. I literally thought that it was a befriending the moths. Hey, this is still a fine 2-drop. Maybe I would have picked it anyway. Alright, so these are fairly weak packs for my colors. As you can see, Kindled Fury. The Songshaper is... it's a human artificer, so it doesn't even benefit from the triggers. Wow, this pack is really weak. I don't actually care about the 2-2, which mostly will be just 2-2 for 2. I can do better. I'll take the Lucky Offering from my sideboard. But that was a really disappointing pick too. Okay, come on. Do we get something here? Well, there are options. I think... yeah, this would be interesting. But I might just take the Fall of Lord Conda, because this is going to exile some of those big annoying things that can easily just, brick wall my attacks. Yeah, I do like it. A 3 mana exile something that costs more 4 or more. You gain mana advantage there at least. And usually people will have, expensive cards in their deck. It's very rare that you wouldn't have at least some number of 4+ mana cards. Alright, so this is a really decent build around if you have a lot of artifacts, which I don't have. So it's a 2 mana 1/1. It doesn't even guarantee getting the 1 extra counter, so I'm not taking that. I already have a couple of these steel breakers, so I don't think I'm gonna take that. Now it's maybe time to take this recovery unit actually. I have a few things I can return. Creature or vehicle, so it doesn't actually return these sagas because they are not creatures when they are in your graveyard. But yeah, this is still a fine pick here, at least to try this uncommon. Alright, Imperial Oaths are coming left and right. I guess I could play one of them, but I just not sure if I want to play a 6-drop here. The Synthesizer is maybe not the kind of card I want to play in this deck. I'll take the other mana fixing land now. This is, when you are not having a third color in the deck, this is actually strictly worse than the, the dual lands that also gain you 1 life, but they also produce both of your colors. But still I like to play these in place of basic lands to avoid the 9/8 mana base, to have a bit more, consistent starting hands. Yeah, okay, the Imperial Subduer, that's by the way good quality 3-drop here. Definitely better than the Peerless Samurai here. So let's do it. But yeah, I got one Kami's Flare, and then, the red cards I picked after that, they are like, there's no removal or anything. It's a fairly weak deck actually. But yeah, I guess I sort of forced it a bit after picking this in my pack one, pick one, but I was willing to go green, but I somehow just got enough of these red and white cards that I just didn't really actually commit to the green stuff. Am I going to play another one of these, or should I try this decoy? I mean, it's a very expensive thing to pay the 2 mana for it. Companion. No, I'll take another one of these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play 2 of them, but we will see. Okay, Wanderer's Intervention. That I can play. Actually, the Regent's Authority would be like an okay card, but I think I like the removal spell more. How many creatures I have? 10 plus the Saga, which is these sagas don't show in this count here. So what do I have here? At least 2 sagas that will become creatures. All right, so none of this matters. I'm not playing the Brute Suite. I have better options for 3 mana. Yeah, I have the Shattered Stage Era, the Era of Enlightenment, this thing. I have some creatures some sagas that will turn into creatures, so the creature count is actually higher than this says here. Sure, I take now the Song Shaper. I think I need still, I have 2 lands here, so I need some playables here still. Okay, let's play the Imperial Oath here. Let's try it. Because now I'm at 3 cards actually. Alright, so this I like a lot more than the red one. Because it land gets vigilance, so you can attack with it and then post-combat tap it for mana if you need to. Okay, so I barely got there. Yeah, I guess there wasn't really anything in my sideboard I was that interested in playing, so I actually got to 23 playables. The deck building might be quite fast because I think this is it. Unless there's something I really don't want to play in the main deck, but we will see. Okay, so red and white and colorless are interesting here. Sideboard card and unexciting cards. Couple of sideboard cards. These can be really good sideboard cards. You can actually kill, 3 mana things with only 1 mana. That is great. You also get 3 life. So this can be really good against certain decks, and this is the kind of card that really makes best of 3 more interesting. Because this is really quite risky to run in best of 1. Unless the format shapes in a way that most decks do have targets for this, it could of course be the case. Right, so this is now going to go to this mode. I guess I'll cut the lands. Once it was so that the automatic land assignment, messed up my color balance there without me noticing it. So nowadays I just cut the lands here already. I'm right away, and then I will add them manually, so there's not gonna be happening any kind of unintentional switches in the mana base. So is there some card I wouldn't want to play at all? Well, I'm not sure if I want to play 2 of these, but now I kind of have to. And then the Song Shaper won't be that good, but I have in the end 8 artifacts or 7 other artifacts. And the Unstoppable Ogre, I don't think it's that good, but I want to try it. I want to try it. There are some effects in this format that deal 1 damage or give -1/-1. And then when you get hit by that kind of an effect, because those are usually, the effects are a side effect to something else. So it's really horrible to lose your 3 mana creature when opponent kind of does some other things, and while doing so they get to kill this thing. If this was a 4/2, because usually 3 mana 4/2s aren't great either, but this enters the battlefield ability. It's not nonsense. It can really matter a lot. But if this was a 4/2 with the same ability and an artifact for the artifact generations, I think this would be quite much better than your regular 3 mana 4/2s. But the 1 toughness is a liability. But I will see how many times I'm gonna get punished. Maybe I won't be getting punished at all. But yeah, I think this is easily the deck because the sideboard doesn't really have any that great options for me. I guess you could sideboard in this puppet if you want to remove counters from your opponent's creatures, but still a 4 mana 2/4. Not something I care about running here. So here the creature count says 11, but I should maybe do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually 16, although this thing doesn't attack, it has defender. So let's say 15 creatures. Oh, and then there's also the vehicles, which are not creatures because they do require creatures, but they are, you know, something that can participate in combat. I have quite a few things I can return with it too. But I don't think I want to play 2 in this deck. I would rather have any other 3-drop maybe. Or maybe even like another 4-drop. It doesn't have to be a 3-drop, but there's not really much options in this deck. I will start it with that thing in the main deck. I play both of these Havens and 14-10. How about double casters? Not really. Both colors have a 1-drop and 2-drops, so this is going to be based on how many I have each of these colors, and I have more white than red, so I'm going to put now 8 planes. Come on, let's take the Neon Dynasty planes here. 8 of them and 7 mountain. I think this is my 3rd draft, and it's my 3rd time drafting red too. Maybe at some point I won't be picking red cards. I don't have any bias towards any color. I just took the rare because I wanted to try it, and then I got a fairly early Kami's Flare, and then I could have moved to green and would be maybe green-white in the end, but well, I did not, so this is the deck. And one thing I actually should still see is how many warriors and samurais I do have. Out of my 11 creatures here, well, it doesn't count all creatures, but at least I have 10 in here, samurais and warriors. Okay, and then that happened. I wanted to still, so yeah. 10 samurais and warriors, which is important for the katanas, because this is really not good card if you can't reliably get the 1 mana triggered ability work for your creatures. 3 mana to move this around is quite a lot. So this becomes a samurai. Yeah, I'm not gonna check all of these, but also some of these sagas can turn into a relevant creature type. And of course this thing makes samurais, I actually forgot it from my creature count. It's not a saga, not a creature, it still counts as a creature because, well, it makes 3 of them. But now, let's go to round 1. In my first draft, which was a traditional draft, I had pretty easy opposition. It was the released night. It was night in my local time, and that was really, not really that challenging. So let's see if this time I'm gonna have some tougher opposition. Anyway, this hand is, as you can see, amazing. Starting with the Exemplar and then attacking with this as a 4/4 on turn 3. Or actually, I don't have to do that. I can attack for 5, which is better than attacking for 4 if the opponent doesn't have a blocker. But if they do, then different. That will be a different scenario then. They have that thing. So am I willing to trade? They could have a ninja coming up. I mean, of course, they are not going to trade in case they have. But then I would be dealing 5 damage instead of 4. I think I'm willing to trade here. So either they take 5 or they will trade these guys and I still deal 3, and of course I get the indestructible counter. Also, this is one reason to, offer the trade, because if they don't, block, I mean, if they would block, this would remain indestructible. Now they can get rid of the counter here. Anyway, next turn I can play the Kami's Flare and the Exemplar if I want to, or just use these if they ninja out the 4 mana. A ninja which has a mana value of 4. Now, this doesn't mean they have a ninja, but both black, I mean, all of these 3 colors have the most ninjas. Green, black, and blue all have ninjas. And if you put the Infiltrator in the deck, you usually put it for the reason that it supports ninjas. And now, when the opponent stopped here, it has to mean that they have some kind of ninja. I just hope it's nothing too amazing. Do they have more than one option because they are thinking about what to put there? Okay, so that's the 2/1 that draws them a card now, and then it will start. It will loot in the future turns if it connects. That's a nice little thing. And then I will have to, well, it's going to be the mountain. I don't really need it now. And there's no target for this thing. And I'm not gonna, of course, attack with the exemplar here into the virus beetle. But I'm gonna play this now because that means I can attack for 5 still. And I will be blocking the moon circuits hacker. Now the thing is, I might even need to block the virus beetle because I definitely don't want them to use for ninjas and then reuse the the ETB ability. So I might actually. I don't really like to lose both of these guys though. It's really annoying because the opponent could have something that can block a 3-power creature. I do have the Kami's Flare here though. Also this thing is modified now with the counter. Any counter counts as being modified. Even a -1/-1 counter. Not that there are those in this set. So I don't really want to give them any ninja advantage. So I don't like this. If they, I will have to discard one of these if they get this back to their hand. So my hands are tied here. Don't like that, but I hope I draw some good stuff now. At least they do need something that has 4 toughness because this currently can't be blocked. So am I going to just kill that thing? But then I think I'm going to. Yeah, this is a human ninja too. Because if I draw anything that costs more than 2, I'm gonna use this now on the Lord here. They take 2 and they take now 3 here, but yeah, exactly like this. I couldn't have played both of these. So now they get to do the ninja thing again. Let's see if their deck is all ninjas. But this will get me back these icons to excellent brush stacks. Actually, that is really strong. I will lose the indestructible counter now, but I guess it's fine. Yeah, they can attack and then kill the Rizona after it. Well, I guess they can do other things that prevent this from crewing the unit. But I have like a couple of 1-drop creatures, so I'm not necessarily going to be able to crew this with a creature draw. But they first have to deal with the Rizona, because that can of course crew the unit. Okay. I'll try it. They can make this into a 3/4, but it doesn't even trade with the recovery unit. Do they let me attack? They do. Value. Well, this offsets the fact that they made me have the discard effect. Okay, so they just, do this thing. They used 4 mana for that. That is totally fine for me. Yeah, the vehicle doesn't, of course, benefit from these abilities. But they can't just, leave this to block and then use 4 mana to pump it. That seems really not ideal. I hope they just play 1 6-drop, which I can exile with this, and then basically it will be not quite game over, but I can force them to jump block. I can attack with the 3/4 and the 3/3, which are lethal, so they would have to jump block. But that's only gonna work if they actually have a 6-drop, which they didn't. They can tap some of my stuff, doesn't matter. I think they should tap a land in this case, because they don't care about me having this around. I might have something instant speed, so that would force me to use it right now before they have gone to end step. Alright, so this thing deals 1 damage to each opponent and planeswalker they control. Could be relevant, who knows. 1 drop, 2 drop, so this thing isn't really doing much. But I said most decks will have cards with, or permanent cards with, well, creatures with mana value 4 or greater. Let's see if that's gonna happen here. So I have two options. I could attack with the recovery unit, but currently they can make this into a 3/4 and this is 1/1, so that's total of 4 power. I can also just attack with this being a 4/4. I wouldn't get back the exemplar, but if they can double block this thing. However, if they do double block it, that does mean that I get the other exemplar back, and I still get to trade with the disruptor, which can be useful. Fine. This is indestructible, so I can just easily attack with it. So basically, I'm trading the recovery unit on the disruptor now, and this also means they wouldn't have mana for anything else. I mean, well, they can have 1 mana effect in addition to that, but okay. So this thing has brought me back 2 cards. I'm happy about that now. Yeah, let's trade with the 1/1 here. They still have to pump it if they want to kill it, so that's really good. And now they go to 3 here, and then they go to 2. So I'm not sure what they're holding, but it seems like it's not. Just don't be any kind of nasty mass removal effect. I don't think these colors have, but I don't remember everything. So what does this second do? Whenever you cast your next creature spell, well, I'm not necessarily gonna cast anything, but I still didn't want to, not play this thing. If I draw a creature, I get to benefit from it, but I don't think that's the relevant part. It's gonna be a 2/2 haster, and their opponent is at 2. They have a lot to deal with now. They can't just keep, pumping the infiltrator. It will still take 1 additional mana before they get to do it twice. But I guess now they have some ninja there. Well, that only bounces. That's not really. Oh, they. Yeah, and now of course I get to benefit from this thing. Yeah, that finally an answer for something I can use with this kind of thing. But I mean, they're tapped out. Why wouldn't I just? I don't need to show them anything. It's a best of three match, so I don't wanna show that I have the fall of Lord Conda. Now this 1/4 drop is enough for me, and it's most likely not the only 4 or more costing card in their deck. I mean, not a card, but a creature. Okay, so ninjas. A really very heavy focus on ninjas, and nice these synergy cards. There's the Lord here. 1 drops at 1/2 flyer is definitely nice too. The one is it's in their hand. But looking at my sideboard, I have the lucky offerings. How many of those are? Because this thing is not an artifact or enchantment. This thing is just a creature. But wait a minute, this is an enchantment creature. Yeah, I remember that some of them are. So I could kill the disruptor. I could kill the moon circuit hacker. And they might have something else. I think I will play the lucky offering, and I will not play the unstoppable ogre, because this seems very bad against their cheap creatures that can easily. They can play a 1 mana creature that just trades with this thing, and that's not nice. Anything else maybe? Don't think so, but doesn't hurt to check. Yeah, I will play 1 lucky offering. Okay, I have a nice hand here. So what I can do here is play a Aki Ronin, maybe even this thing if they have a 1 drop, but they didn't. This is a sorcery, not an instant. So I can play this on turn 2, and turn 3 I can play the Katana and have the mana too. This I can't kill. But I can play the Katana and then have the mana to make this into a 3/4 attacker. But let's see what kind of ninja they have. They might bounce the Ronin now. Maybe they don't have a ninja. Or a card with a ninjutsu. Not all ninjas have a ninjutsu, as we can see here, but yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. But which one it is? It's something. Okay, it's the circuit hacker thing. Yeah. Guess I'm gonna give them some loot. Because I'm not going to use the katana there. Be my guest. Loot away. I get to rummage here. I can get rid of this. So I get to also loot here. Yep, pay that. And then I don't need the tapped land here anymore. And there's an era of enlightenment. Alright. So they get to deal 3, maybe ninjutsu something out. Loot here. We'll see how this is gonna perform. I guess I can steal something with a nice ability, although the looting ability is not the greatest. Yeah, I don't think against that deck. This is of course a lot better against some green deck. You can steal a massive creature with it. And then they have to either take a jump, maybe jump block it or take a lot of damage. Okay, no ninjas this time. If that was the the bounce ninja, that might have been a little bit annoying. Searchlight Company. Yeah, that is a ninja synergy card. Yeah, they have a lot of this stuff going on. Okay, the exemplar is here. I guess I'll just play the 2-drops here. No really reason to. Not really reason to play the 3-mana card or the 1-mana lucky offering. The gain 3 life might actually be valuable at some point. But anyway, now I do play this of course. First to get the effect here. And I think in this case the recovery unit is what I'm going to loot or rummage away. I don't think I'm going to be interested in that at all. A lot of triggers. Oh yeah, because the katana of course triggers. Yeah, that I don't have to pay. Discard this. Draw something else. Well, the same thing, maybe not. Why not? And then I can play the Era of Enlightenment, scrying for something. What do I have here? Fall of Lord Conda. So there's no 4-mana cards here yet. And the Ground Defender guy isn't really useful. And the land isn't useful either, so I guess... Yeah, I'm not going to have that thing. I guess it's kind of annoying if they play now a 4 or 5 drop, which can block my things. Yeah, because I'm actually taking here a bunch of damage, but although I will now block with the Exemplar, the Moon Circuit Hacker won't be connecting, so it's only about 4 damage. I have this gain 2 life, this gain 3 life. Don't really want to kill a 1/1 flyer, but that's what might be what I have to do. Opponent definitely has an unthemed deck. Blue-black ninjas, maybe with some kind of green splash. I mean, there is a green splash here because they have a forest, but... Okay, they don't want to attack with the hacker here. That might give me, a target for the lucky offering. Anyway, not gonna trade with the 1/1 token here. I go to 11, or maybe they ninjutsu something out. Okay, they are again thinking about it. So they have multiple options, or maybe they think if they want to do something post-combat. Silver Fairmaster, well, that's definitely a good one to put there. That's additional damage. Okay, the intervention will be nice though. So this turn, I think I still play the recovery unit and the lucky offering. The Shattered Stage Era is gonna be discarded, and I draw a card. I didn't want to do this thing pre-combat. I want to see what I draw. Okay, I did draw a very nice thing. This is a first striker then. So now I have the intervention here, and I do also have a modified creature with the equipment now. So I don't think I have time for the recovery unit. There's also nothing to return there. Maybe I should have discarded that instead of this. I might be interested in the hasty guy. Well, it's too late now. Let's use this on the... Not on the 1-1. I'm going to kill the Silver Fur Master. Hopefully they don't have... Wait a minute. Wow. I thought it was an artifact or enchantment. It's only an artifact. That's interesting. That is really interesting. That makes it a lot worse. Never main deck this. I don't know, why did I... What's the fragment size? Isn't that a thing that doesn't gain you life, but it kills a thing with mana value 4 or less? And it also hits enchantments? Or is that also just an artifact? Anyway, I'm gonna leave mana up for my tricks here. Yeah, I thought this actually is a disenchant with 1 mana with a restriction on the target. Wow. Let's see what they're gonna ninja out here. I will use my intervention here now. I could have done this pre-combat, but... Oh, that's... Silencer. So probably I'm not wanting them to kill my things. Because the problem here is, of course, that they can return another ninja. But I kind of wanted to see what they... the fact that they only used 1 mana here is... Yeah, because this makes it even cheaper. It is kind of annoying. Well, I mean, I hope they don't have another ninja here, because that will be horrible. Okay, they didn't. I didn't want them to, you know, have the opportunity to... You know, this thing says that... when they steal damage, they can discard a creature card to kill one of my stuff. I don't want any of my stuff to die. They have certainly stuff they can discard. Okay, they have now this and this token it made. I do want to play the Kami's Flare on this thing. I should just attack for 5 instead of... I don't need to rummage this turn. I will play the recovery unit now that I have this exemplar here. Yep, let's make them go... Oh, again I forgot. It does not have haste. Okay, it's fine. So now I have the option to discard a card if I want to. I will decline the payment for sure. Yeah, the recovery unit is something I can crew even with this thing. If I play this, I don't have the Kami's Flare up. But I don't need to have it up right now. I could play just the recovery unit and the patrol here. Although the patrol might not be that good. I mean, look at their... They have the 1-2. Actually, that's the worst card here. It could be made into a, you know, 3-2 flyer, but that's not enough even. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do here. Okay, befriending the mods, this will be good. That will certainly be good. Alright, so this is fine mostly. I don't get to double spell, but I don't think the 1-1 was gonna be that relevant there. So I could play this now, but I want to leave it as a surprise thing. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Fine, whatever. I'm at 10. They don't really threaten with a lot of damage here currently. I can block their ground guys. Even if they kill the Hand of Enlightenment, I can respond by crewing the recovery unit. So they can't really connect conveniently in the ground. And if they have another ninja for the companion, so be it. There's not much I can do about it. I didn't want to really leave the Kami's Flare up just because of that. I'd rather use it offensively at getting rid of a blocker. because I'm very close to dealing lethal damage to them. This will deal 2 to them as long as I have this equipment, equipped on someone. I just really can't realize why, because I think since I saw this in the spoiler, I have always considered this as a disenchant effect. It's a lot worse when it's only an artifact. It's still a good pick on the sideboard, but definitely not main deckable and not playable in best of 1. Too many decks that don't have enough good target for it, because it's not always enough that you have a target like the 1/1 thing that credit them a 1/1 token. I don't want to use a card to deal with it, so it has to be something actually that makes sense. Okay, opponent is in the think tank now. It's their final timeout now. And yeah, I can forgive myself. I mean, it's a new set. Reading cards can be hard. And sometimes you do these mental shortcuts. You assume this has to be a disenchant. Well, it's not. But it can also destroy just artifacts without being able to destroy enchantments. Okay, that's a good one. So they're gonna kill I wish I had now something in response. Okay, they do that. Why would they? I think the Aki Ronin might be the one they want to deal with, but whatever. I'll take 2 here. Then I will be befriending the mods. Quite interesting, actually. Is this? Oh no, it's not quite lethal. It's almost, because I can't deal 4 to them. But this is not a... Yeah, I don't have the mana to... Yeah, I would need 1 more mana to be able to do the thing. So is there any way to... I mean, I'm thinking if I need a blocker here. Because I could just... No, I mean, no matter actually, that was nonsense. I get a blocker if I attack with the recovery unit. I don't get a blocker if I attack with this guy. Because the 2/1 will come back. Or the Moth Rider Samurai. I think I'm still taking the 2/1 here. Okay, let's do it. I don't get to rummage now because this is not a Samurai or a Warrior. But I can play the befriending the mods if I want to. They probably will jump block with a 1/1. And I will get a ground blocker. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to die here. Famous last words. But this is now putting them to, putting them to death. Do I want to have the Moth Rider Patrol? No, I'm gonna take the 2/1. Because obviously this Kami's Flare, as long as... And this is kind of a friendly. Oh no, this is not. I was actually mistaken. This is not the kind of... Because there are 2 versions of these modified, instant and sorceries. Some of them say that if you control the modified creature when you cast this spell. But no, this doesn't work for the Kami's Flare. This has to be... I have to control a modified creature when this spell resolves. So they can still respond by getting rid of my modified creature. I'm also... Okay. Yeah. I for some reason thought this enters the battlefield, even though I have already played with this thing. Of course it enters just my hand. So I'm not sure why was I thinking I get a blocker. I didn't have the mana to cast it. So I really thought it would return it to the battlefield. This is actually embarrassing. I'm almost not wanting to upload this video, but you will see all my stupid mistakes. Okay, I'm almost dead. I take 7 here now. I can't... I will put a stop on my main phase just in case. Oh. Nope. I couldn't have done anything. I mean, I should have put a stop to my upkeep. There was a flash creature that I could have been using to benefit from the +1/+1 effect here. But... Okay, let's focus now. So I mean, I just win because I... Okay, I needed the hasty... No, I didn't need the hasty creature. What I could have done is... Yeah, I can just do it like this. Man, I thought it was a reanimating spell. So as long as they don't have... the green 1 mana spell that actually is going to... give them hexproof. I win like I did. But yeah, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm sorry. You must be... When I talk about if I attack with this, I get a blocker. You were thinking about that. Cannot I, count the mana right? I would have needed one extra. But no, I just thought for some reason it enters the battlefield. I think it would be significantly better if it did enter the battlefield. It's still okay when it goes to your hand. But yeah, maybe now I will remember it better. But anyway, I did win the match, both games here, against ninjas. On the play with a nice hand again, I even get to have the subduer here. Okay, let's have a game where I don't play my cards wrong, where I understand everything. Let's try to achieve that. So this is gonna attack as a 4-3 even if I don't draw the third land. That wasn't necessarily the best draw, but I still have a bunch of things to do. Even, I have 2 more 2-mana cards here. So, blocker, removal. It's dead. I'm sad. Okay, that's fine though. That's totally fine. I wish there was like a border indicating what color it shows here. White, blue, black, red or green. Would be such a simple design. Alright, so just play the 4-drop here instead of doing this katana thing, I think. Attack for 3 here. And this is a warrior, so I can benefit from the exemplar and the katana here. So it would attack. Opponent missed their land drops, as you can see. This would attack with the as a 4. It's gonna be a 6 power attacker here. Although I might want to just play the subduer here. I'm gonna play these both, but I'm not gonna use the... Although it's not actually necessary, because I'm going to maybe attack with only one creature anyway, so... It is more damage that way. At some point, okay, I can start attacking with everything, but I'm not going to attack the exemplar into this dockside. Jeff, for example. Yeah, it's... Let's maximize the damage. Although I could also maximize the damage by attacking... No, it's the same actually. I could equip the Akanjo exemplar attack for... No, it's 7 damage in that case. Otherwise I can make this into a... Okay, yeah, because I can actually... Does this make sense? I'm not even sure. I could have sequenced this in so many different ways, playing the subduer or whatever. This is what I choose. Maximize the damage when opponent is missing land drops. Force them to make some jump blocks at some point. And I can always just, do this if I want the steel breaker to have it. I can just attack with it and then pay 1 mana. And that's it. This way I was able to deal 1 more damage, which can matter. And I might want to just continue attacking with all of this stuff. I have to... No, this is not the discard 2 one. This is the one. They make me discard one of these things. I don't care. Or if they don't do that, they get to grow this into a 3-4, which is not going to be good enough against the Scrapyard Steelbreaker. So they just use 3 mana to not affect the board at all. Well, and then now I have this. Is this lethal? It is almost lethal because I can sacrifice this artifact, but it is actually not enough. I can deal 7 here, but I could make it the 9 by sacrificing this. And then if I sacrifice the katana, it's the same +2/+1, so it doesn't matter. So let's make the opponent go to 3. It's not like they have a very good chance here. All of these guys are lethal, so how do they deal with being stuck on 3 lands? And also, unless they are mono black, they didn't have their second color. Alright, so now this is an enchantment creature, but I do remember this thing destroys only artifacts. I'm not going to sideboard that in now because I didn't really see artifacts. Well, I didn't see a whole lot. I'm actually thinking about Do I want to have a 4-3 vigilance with crew 1 instead of one of these recovery units? I think the fact that even though this has a slightly higher crew cost, which could matter for things like Aki Roning or the Mothra Patrol, I think I still prefer the higher toughness and the ability to maybe get some cards back. So I will use the same deck, because if I don't use the lucky offerings, there's really not that much in my sideboard I can use. The draft was like, I got barely enough playables, which is it's something that doesn't happen often nowadays. Alright, this is a really good hand. 3 lands, both colors here, and 2 drop, 3 drops. Yeah, this is nice. And here I'm gonna take white here. I don't have any double casters, but I have more white cards in my hand, so I might need double white more than I need double red. So this thing says when it dies. This is at least not a leaves the battlefield ability. That would maybe be a bit too much if you could ninjutsu this out and it would still give its counters. So it has to die in order to give the counters. It's still a nice little synergy with this thing. You can draw a card and get the counter. But yeah, this was white producing land, so now I'm just gonna... going to what? I think I want to have the first striker out, so I'm gonna do this. Plus the Scry can be useful. Unstoppable Ogre is not really exciting against that stuff, but I think I will take the land here. Mostly because I have the Aki Roning, so if I happen to draw more lands, I can actually discard them. And I'd rather not draw my be stuck at 3 lands here. At some point I might want to double spell, even if I don't draw the expensive stuff in front of my deck. Okay, they again, are they mono black? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm thinking here. It's going to be one of the 3 drops. Let's do the hasty thing. I could be the Peerless Samurai though, so this attacks and I have... Well, currently if you look at my hand, I don't actually have a double spell on the next turn, nor do I have a 4-drop. So I think it's the Peerless Samurai, because this can allow me to double spell on the next turn with the cards in my hand. Yeah. Plus, this is maybe okay if they have removal. I'd rather them remove this than the hasty thing. The indestructible doesn't of course matter. I attack and this gets the indestructible counter, and then they attack back with... only it's enough to attack with one of them, and then I lose the counter. Twisted Embrace kills the Samurai. Okay. So be it. No double spells for me. Well, there is a double spell option now. Do I want to use it? This first striker cannot block the Dockside Chef, so if I make this indestructible, they can attack with this and I can't really block it. Don't have a 2-mana creature, this only works on those here. Yeah, I think... I'm also happy I left the land on top. As you can see, I didn't draw any lands after that. Not that there were that many draw steps. Let's do the Roning thing. It can... this is the optimal use of mana. It makes sense. Next turn, even if I don't draw land, I can play a 3-drop and attack with either the Hasty Guy or maybe the Aki Roning and use this 1 mana trigger ability. Okay, they make us sacrifice creatures. A nice little synergy there. Let's see if I want to... I guess it's gonna be the Ronin. That does mean... Well, the recovery unit can return it at some point. Fine. Although this does mean... No, if they give the counter to the Chef, I wouldn't been able to block this thing anyway. Maybe they give the counter now to the Flyer. But if I left the 1-3, they might have made this into a 3-4, and then, the 1-3 can't really block it. But now they can... And they still do it. Alright. I guess they want to have the 2-2 around, because it flies. So if I have removal, at least I don't get to pick the counter from there. Now... it's a bit of a race situation. This katana doesn't work if I attack with both. This is not it's a monk, not a warrior or a samurai, so I can't make this thing into a... Yeah, so however I do this turn, I can play one thing here. I can attack with the Asaric Commander and making it 5-4. Problem is the opponent is actually dealing 5 back to me. I kinda want to have this thing... But I'm not sure if I even need the Ronin for much here. I guess I go to 8. Fine, I go to 8. Because if I attack with both, it doesn't really... It's 5 damage anyway. So might as well make the equipment into a thing here. Yeah, so far this indestructible counter hasn't mattered much in limited. Oh, they have some... They jump block there. Oh, now I understand. That makes more sense. I still don't think they wanted to lose the flyer, but yeah, that was a good efficient way to, you know, get value from that thing. It's sometimes you might not have situations where you actually are dealing damage at all. So I do understand it. They made it, but I'm also happy they don't have the 2/2 flyer now. Okay, well now it's a wow. Kaitas. Now they had to discard 2, so they had both these. They have the one that, you know, lets you choose, and then they have the discard 2. So I just lost 2. I mean, classic. This couldn't be any more classic. I mean, I drew spells, then I have 2 cards left, I discard them and immediately drew a land. Now I can't even raise them. I have to leave this as a blocker. It is a first striker, so they can't really attack into it. But I'm taking 1 or 3 damage in the air now. That's not good. Yeah, the discard thing, that was quite good. And they get a ninja or rogue back now. Jeez. Or a creature. What do they have? They have only a spirit and a construct. Okay, so this goes, if they choose to do that, goes on top of their library. But it's actually quite good because they can take the edict guy here. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna sacrifice the Hand of Enlightenment, so let's attack with it maybe. Then this thing at least can block, you know, those things. So there is that. They can't really attack in the ground, but of course the problem here is that they have a lethal, you know, air force without me being able to erase them. I need some very specific things. Very specific things are needed now. Okay, they chose to just not even bother with the... I guess it makes sense. They can also just attack with both of the ground guys and force me to go to 3. It's not the worst idea they could do. Then they have to... I guess it's a bit risky to lose the Kami of Restless Shadows that way. Yeah, that's a bit safer way. They still have a, you know... Okay, they decided that now. So I could... Yeah. Let's do this, and now I need to just kill this thing. Or gain 2 life. Or I mean, any amount of life. Oh, that is not it. So what I can deal here is 7, 8 damage. And then I'd lose to this thing. Alright. Still nothing much for the lucky offering. Yeah, Iron Apprentice. Not really worth targeting that thing. Okay, the discard really hurt there, man. That was such a beating. Yeah, I guess I'll just try to have an even better hand. The opponent does seem to be a mono black though. Yeah, it's okay. I don't have a 2-drop, which I don't like, but at least. Yeah, I guess the turn 3 they had, or was it the turn 3, whatever it was. The turn when they played the 2/2, each player sacrifices a creature and they had the 1-drop to sacrifice. That was good for them. That was the kind of a crucial point which where they got a lot of tempo. Because they also were able to attack with their thing there. Okay, well I guess I'll just play this on white then, because I don't have the 2-drop. Now I can start playing stuff. They have a Jeff, but they didn't play it on the previous turn, which means that they just drew it. And I'm not playing the Unstoppable Ogre here because I don't actually want to trade with the one drop either. I can just do this, Menace guy, get some nice discount maybe. A Steel Breaker, yeah, the discount probably doesn't matter here. Okay, they have... Well... So yeah, it doesn't matter. I could play it... Yeah, I would need one more mana to play the Ogre and the Risona. But... they don't... I mean, both of these have 3 toughness. So, I could attack with the hasty guy, but it's still not making any sense. I'll play the 4-drop now. Next turn then I can... Well, if I attack with only one guy, I have to remember this discount only works when I have only one guy. When I attack with only one guy, that is. But if I want to do that, I can play the... Well, these... The funny thing, both of these kind of want to be played before combat. So, I might... Well, let's see what happens. I don't have to decide yet what I do. But if I really want to, I can play both of these on the next turn if the Peerless Samurai is alive when I declare my attackers. Okay, Ninja. And I do remember now they have the, discard 2 effects. I'm not going to play those lands actually. Okay, they have the 5/5 Ninja. That's annoying. Now that is annoying. Alright, so if I get hit by the discard, I get to deal a lot of damage though. I take 6 here, but I can live with it. And then next turn when I play a creature, it will get a counter. Although it would be quite nice with the hasty guy. I think I'll play the Kumano thing now. The hasty being a 4/4 hasty guy they don't know about, and then I can... Although the Unstoppable Ogre is better, because if they choose to leave this as a blocker, which they easily might, I can make it unable to block. So yeah, let's do it like that. Attack with everything. They take what, 8 here. Don't need a discount here. I can attack with all of these guys. And I will have the Kumano faces Kagazan, which will ping them for 1. And well, they can attack with one of these guys to make the indestructible counter go away. This is also an artifact which I can, if I want to, sacrifice for the Scrapyard Steelbreaker. Make it into a 5/5 for a turn. But yeah, they can... Okay, they played that one too, sure. Do they want to attack with the 5/5? Yes, they do. Race is on. They want to attack with both of those. So they are going to try to beat me on the next turn, on the turn after that. So, well, that's good at least. I get to... I get to play these both. That's what I was going to say here. So, do I want to make this into a 3/3? I don't think so. I like this being a 5/2 against the Shadow Walker. Now they might have removal, of course, but whatever. Sadly, I cannot. Can I force a block? Because this can be 5. Yes, no, not quite. I don't have the mana for it. Creature, yeah, because if I had 1 extra land, then I could play both of these and threaten the activations. They would have to actually jump block in that case. Now they don't have to. Well, I'm at 7. Let's play the Ogre anyway. It's gonna be a 5/2. I guess I could have made this into, but I like that it's a 5/2 against the 5/5. Now, who I do want to, I mean, if they choose to block, this has flying, which can be a 3 power. It takes 4 mana though, and this is Menace, which requires 2 blockers. So, and they might not even block here. I'm just trying to figure out that if they do block, which do I want to get rid of? This is my final time out, so menace or this dealing 3. I guess it forcing, you know, I'm gonna... Okay, actually, I was saying that I want them to block with the captain, but then I made it unable to block, so well played by me. Alright, so who are gonna attack? So I can't deal lethal. I could make this into a 5. I could deal exactly 10, which is not enough because they are at 11. So I need to leave some number of blockers. I will have the Song Shaper. Maybe it isn't the Peerless Samurai that is not gonna attack. Maybe I'll attack with them all. I'm thinking about what happens if they... I mean, if I can kill this thing, they don't have a lethal attack. Yeah, I will do this. Because it's enough for me to deal with the 5-5. If they can kill both of my 2 blockers, well then they can do that and win the game. Because then of course I won't be winning. They get to draw a card by sacrificing it to the dockside chef. They can also get lifelink there. But it's only +1/+0, so it doesn't actually kill my guy. But they get it back and they go to... Yeah, so actually this went well, because if I would have targeted this one. Although it would enter... Yeah, it would have entered back. But then again, it would have done the chapters 1 and 2 again. Yeah, so this was really good that I actually targeted this, because it would have been a lot worse if they had the other option. Guess I'll play the land, whatever. I might need to make this into a 5 toughness creature or something. But now... So... Again, they don't have a lethal attack unless they kill both of my blockers. But them gaining the 2 life there means that I won't necessarily have a lethal attack either. But if they... Well, it's interesting at least, but this is again a bit tough because the flyers somehow seem to be a lot of very problematic now. Yeah, the etching of Commander would be quite nice to be on the battlefield when this kind of card gets played, because it exiles the thing instead of it dying, so it wouldn't have returned to it. But now, so what the opponent can do, I mean, let's say they don't have, okay, that's, do they control an artifact? No, so this has no death touch currently. They have a, alright, so that's still an evasive creature. They might attack with the road captain here, and of course I won't be double blocking it, because I would lose my unstoppable ogre in that case. Sadly they also have the 2 mana up, so they can jump block and use the dockside chef. I would assume they attack with the flyer at least, although it's only 1 damage now. I would assume that, okay, they don't want to attack with the road captain either. Okay then. Well, the 5-5 of course making things a little bit awkward now. I can attack with well, I can attack with everything, but that's not good. They have good blocks. The 5-5 eats the Arizona. They can block the 5-2 with a 2-2 here. I guess the rest will, be trades or them taking damage, but then they will have a lethal counterattack, and that's kind of a problem. They have to block the Steel Breaker. It has 2 artifacts it can sacrifice for 7 damage, but that's what they can do. So do I want to trade the Unstoppable Ogre? Because I can attack with the Menace guy. If they block with the 5-5 and something else, that's, that's okay. Then I can attack with this because it threatens to be a 5-5. Okay, and then I can attack with the Unstoppable Ogre, which I don't want to trade. But I guess trading with the Menace guys isn't even the worst. But it's also a very good blocker on the Shadow Walker. I'm just worried about them having removal on this thing, and then it didn't really achieve much. Blocking the many skies is still kinda interesting. I mean, making them block with it, because it is something they can use to deal some damage. So now they have to do some blocks at least. But of course the land isn't. I needed something else than a land, I think. This might be good if they... If they have another one of these, it doesn't... It gives the +1/+0, but it doesn't return the thing. This can sacrifice itself though. So they're gonna have a lethal attack on the next turn. I don't think they have a... well, depending on what they have in their hand. I can block the 5/5. Okay, they didn't even sacrifice it, so they have some... Oh, they have the kill A thing that... But I can oh. Why wouldn't they... This... Sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw a card. They had 2 mana up. They can sacrifice itself. I will discard... Oh, the ninjas and rogues get... so... Okay, all of the guys have menace. Does that mean I lose? No, it doesn't. I'm going to 1 life if they attack with everything. Unless they have extra power there somewhere. Well, I guess then they do. That was really tight. All they needed there was the thing, the 1-drop. You know, this thing, another one of those. Make me lose 1 life. Post-combat, that's it. But I guess they did, you know, have a lot of spells in this game, so the fact that they might have been holding a land is only fair. But yeah, that was really... Yeah, I didn't really... I mean, I did remember this thing has an additional effect. It's not just a mind rot. But I didn't really, you know, do the math that if they get to give all of their creatures menace, what happens? Now, luckily that was just about enough for me blockers here. But I maybe should have at least, you know, checked that if they do have it, can I survive the attack? But maybe I will remember in the future. Okay. Alright, so this is not so great. This is actually for a 3/4 mana card. This which won't be doing anything on turn 3. This which is not going to do anything either, and only 2 lands. It's an easy mulligan. Now this is better, but a bit problematic with the Kumano because I do want to get the effect, the +1/+1 counter from it. Well, anyway, the easy, you know, I'm not gonna have the 6-drop here, but I can either, sorry, I play this on turn 1 to have a hasty 2/2 on turn 3, and if I get very lucky I would draw a creature for 2 mana. Or I can get some value from this later on. It's a human shaman, it doesn't even... Yeah, that maybe if this was a samurai or a warrior, then I could go with the game plan of playing the katana on then, you know, turn 2, and then this would be a 4/3 hasty attacker. But I think I'm going to wait with this thing unless I have... I mean, if I draw a, for example, a 3rd land, I might just play it. I didn't, so I'm going to do the safe thing and do this. Because I think the +1/+1 counter is important here. The 2/2 won't... It's quite unlikely that it would matter too much here. Okay, so now it's also time to think that when would I have time to cast this? I think I have to hope that I do get either a land or a 2-drop. Because I'm not gonna... I can't really just do nothing on my turns. I had to play that now. Land or a 2-drop. There are many outs for that. 2 of the lands will enter a tap though. Okay. I mean, I mulliganed to 6, kept this land which is still very much keepable. it's just not doing anything. At least the opponent didn't do anything unless they have an instant speed thing here. But yeah, this could be just game lost because of the... Yeah, it would be so different if I just drew a land here, play the Peerless Samurai as a 3-4 menace guy here. Could even block a trainee. But now I'm getting a 2-2 preserver, so this is really good. This is too much to handle. This is too much to handle now. I'm taking 6. This is gonna be good now. Can eat that thing at least and give me a 1-3, which draws me another card. But yeah, I'm not beating this. It's gonna be a 5-5. It's going to be a 5-5, and I even know what I'm drawing here. Get some life there, but and I can block the 4-4 with my 4-1. Guess I'll just attack for 2 then. And on the next turn they get a 5-5 hasty guy. Oh, and I forgot this gives the counter. Oh man. It would have actually given the counter to the preserver, in which case I would have blocked the trainee. But yeah, I maybe... Well, not that a double blocking is good either. I would lose both of these now. So I'm gonna get a 2-2 first striker. Then I can use these 2 2-2s to, you know... Okay, they can make that into... This trainee has, you know, well, it doesn't have Bushido, but it has the same triggered ability. So if I block it, it'll be a 5 toughness creature. Well, I take the damage here, and then I can't even exile this thing. This is a creature, so I can't exile this thing with the Fall of Lord Condor right now. But maybe... Now all of the attackers will be lethal. I think I have to go with the Fall. Exile the Preserver, then I have to jump block the 5-5. Or jump block whichever and then kill the other one. I will lose all my 3 creatures. They will be left with 1 creature. Unless I equip this first striker. Sadly, it's not good enough. Both this has 5 toughness and this has 5 toughness when it gets blocked. So 4 power first striker isn't going to be enough. I think it has to be the Fall of Lord Conda, and I hope the opponent has but 3 lands in their hand and 5 lands on top of their deck. I guess that's always a game plan. You can try to base your own playing around. I mean, if that's the only way for you to win, that's what you do. Yeah, somehow it feels like that this card is amazingly good. Okay, they have a Twisted Embrace. Now I have to jump block them both, and then I just can't beat the 5-5s. When I lose my board, they lose nothing. So the Living Legacy, giving those 1-1 counters and Vigilance, the Vigilance is super relevant there. That is such a nice effect for 5 mana. Do that twice. Yeah, and it's slow to get the 5-5, but when you get it, it has Vigilance and Haste. So it's a big, fast attacker and blocker even if you attack with it. I think this is a very good card. Very good card. It does require you to have other creatures because it's very, you know, miserable if you don't get to put those counters on anything. But if you do, it's great. Alright, so now how about the offering I have? It can kill the Chain Flail Centipede. It's an artifact with a mana cost of 3 or less. But black-green doesn't actually have a lot of artifacts. There are not many. Don't think I want to play it. But do I want to have a Thundersteel Colossus? 7 mana is not easy to get with this deck though. How about the 4-3? It actually is better against the 4-4s than the recovery unit. I will do this switch here. And then probably nothing else. The 3-6 isn't actually the worst against their deck. It can block quite nicely. What would I cut if I were to put that in? I don't want to lose my early game. Unstoppable Ogre. But this can block the 4 power, 4 toughness creatures they have also. The recovery unit. I guess they have an easy time to block this 3-4, being a green deck and all. Alright, I'll cut that, and I will play the Kami of Industry, just because at 3-6 can block their stuff quite nicely. Maybe I need that. But of course in the previous game, while opponent had a good draw, I was stuck at 2 lands after mulligan into 6, so that wasn't really a proper game from me. Okay, now I have a better plan with the 1-drop, so I'm not going to, again I'm playing this on turn 2, so I can have one of these guys enter with a +1/+1 counter. Opponent mulligans this time. Did they mulligan the previous game too? I don't actually remember that, but now they did, and I did not. And I have a very nice curve out here. So which one it is gonna be? I like the menace guy. Although I would like to attack with the 4-4 hasty guy on turn 3. Tribute to Horobe. Okay, so I get the 1-1 rats here. They get to steal them. They get to steal them more. This is gonna be a 3-3 flying haste. I can kill it with the intervention. I can't sacrifice these for anything. Yeah, well, this becomes indestructible. I like that. 4-4 indestructible, they don't have a way to attack. And now this is actually, I mean, these rats will get some damage in here. I wish this was the 4-mana thing to make this thing fly. This would be very quickly over, maybe. Now they might have to block one of the rats. I don't think they want to take so much damage here. Virus beetle. Okay. Don't actually need to land here. So that's only 1-1, and I get this 2-2, which, actually does have haste. I discard the land and immediately draw the 6-drop. Oh, well, it's fine still. It's fine still. So I'm going to attack with everything, so I'm not gonna benefit from this ability. I'll play it post-combat. So they will steal the rats, and this will be a hasty attacker. Well, if I had the 4 mana now, I would play the Era of Enlightenment and have this for the Horobi. But whatever. Not even sure if they can attack with the Horobi. They do get to play, of course, a spell there too. This will be tapped. They can attack and sacrifice a rat to draw a card. I think they want to. That also makes them, also makes them able to remove the indestructible counter here, which can be quite relevant. I really didn't want to not play anything, and maybe if they don't attack with this thing, or they can have also pump spell, so I try to deal 4 to it. They use a pump spell, and then I'm like, okay, was that worth it? Not having the samurai here. It wouldn't have been. So they can have a kill spell on the Resona now. If they don't, well, they do. But it's still, I'm dealing 4 to them. Unstoppable Ogre. Huh. Well... No, I can't benefit from the discount. Well, actually I can. Alright, I can. So let's do this. They see this coming just so easily, but... Whatever. Okay, lands are actually fine with the Oath. Do I have a game plan that allows me to draw these lands? Next turn I play the Ogre. Following turn I don't have a play. It's actually quite tough now. Do I want to rely on the Oath or not? It is gonna be, if they have some kind of way to stabilize, the Oath might be able to. I mean, the lands might be the best thing in here. That does mean that I don't have a play on the turn. Fine, let's keep him, but I get this 2/2 here. I might be able to flood the board. I'll do this before they get to draw a card. If they have a pump spell, then they have a pump spell, but at least they have to use mana for that, maybe leaving them. Maybe I would have, maybe it was better to let them sacrifice, because now they can, well, they have it. Are they gonna sacrifice the rat now? Nope. Yeah, maybe I should have. Well, I don't know, it's kind of tough. They could have drawn just the card that saves them there. Alright, so I might need my Imperial Oath here. Anyway, this has the Bushido, so sadly they will be able to trade with is it even worth using this? Because I know that next turn I don't have a play. I could just attack with the Menace guy, but no, then they can double block. It's not nice. I think I'm losing this game now. The fact they had this thing. I'm losing to the 5/5 flyer. I mean, they might just have enough stuff there. Fine. I'll make this unable to block, attack for 4 if they wanna trade with the Kumano thing. That's fine. I will get my first striker on the next turn, which, you know, doesn't have haste, so I can't attack with it. That's gonna be a 3/4. And sadly, I won't have a play available, and I'm not even guaranteed to play this on turn 6. Man, this... Yeah, the fact they got this, you know, and they had the removal and then had the pump spell, that was them having all they needed there. Because now this is tough. Can't even attack with the peerless samurai here. But I guess I have to attack with the unstoppable ogre, trade with the Jukai trainee here. Don't really see much else to do here. I mean, I just hope that... Oh, this is actually a warrior. Wow. Jeez. Accidentally. I get to play this now, I didn't realize. And you probably did. Such a fool I am. It's a warrior. It got the discounter. Alright, so Katana, Subduer. Well, I don't need the land. How do I do with the... I think the Katana is not that useful now. Because they can block the... Although the Subduer isn't... I mean, I would have to attack with one creature to make the Subduer. If they can do this... Yeah, I think the Katana on the Menace is probably gonna be the... Yeah, I will take the Katana on top and have the Subduer. Yeah. Wow. I really didn't realize that I get to cast this on 5 with this and the Ogre Warrior. So they need to leave this all the block now, if they don't have like a life gain here. And okay, so they have something, life gain. Yeah, they must have life gain. That's the only thing I can see working here. Because I have now the 5 mana. This I didn't mess up. So of course I can equip this by just paying mana. Because I'm planning to attack with everything. So maybe they have a kill on the... Okay, they... Alright, now I see. Now I see. That's annoying. They have a kill on one of my guys and then... It's not a lethal attack. Or maybe they get to untap. In that case, it is a lethal attack. Wait a minute, if the samurai survives, it's going to deal 4 damage, because it has menace. If they block it with 2 guys, even if they get to untap this thing, then it's gonna be 6. Yeah, I think I'm assuming they have a removal spell, but if they have an untapped trick, which is in the format, then I win. And that's of course the only chance I have. I'm losing to the flyer on the very next turn. So the best place to equip this is the Menace guy, because that's what requires 2 blockers. And now let's see them have not the untapped trick, but something else. And match will be over. But I think I did the best I could, except that I could have, you know, seen that I will be able to cast this. Man, this thing is a warrior. Yeah, they need now the lifelink somehow. Can they get it? Yeah, lifelink is enough. That's no, well, that's not lifelink, but still good enough. I mean, they go to 1 here. Wow. But I lost to, of course, a amazing rare, so that's fine. And not only that, but they did have the Twisted Embrace, and then they did have the way to save it from my removal. So that was like 3 things, not only 1 rare, but 3 things they needed to have there. The Twisted Embrace being relevant here because it gave this the +1/+1. It wouldn't have, the clock would have been slower otherwise. I would have been able to survive this attack if they didn't get this kind of removal spell that also enhances their guy. So that's the thing. But I got as close as I could, but I did make a mistake. I'm not happy about missing the interaction between this and this. But these are things you learn early in the draft format. It was also game 2, so even if I won that game, I would have needed to win the game 3. Now, game 1 was a non-game because of my mana issues there, so even though the opponent seemed to have a good deck, I think my deck was good too, and there was a chance I still win the game 3 there. But definitely, I mean, where was my Kami's Flare? It was one of my few removal spells. I had the Fall of Lord Konda, the Kami's Flare, and the Intervention here as removal. That's it. Oh, this, not this one, but this one actually would have also been quite good. Well, I didn't draw the cards I needed to draw. That's sometimes what happens. But yeah, 2-1 still is okay. And the next one will be a Premier Draft. And it will be releasing in roughly 8 hours from now, something like that. So I will see you then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.